What's up, y'all? It's your boy V. Happy July 4th to all my Americans out there that participate. In this video, I want to talk about the first Descendant. It's a game that came out a couple days ago. Free-to-play game, and emphasis on free. There's a lot of microtransactions in it, but this video is pretty much going to go over some pros and cons that I've experienced in the game so far. We have about 15 hours in the game, and played it over 2 nights. And man, honestly, the first night, I didn't really, the visuals are great, right? The visuals are great. The gunplay, everything feels pretty good. It's a classic looter shooter. Reminds me a lot of Destiny, very similar to Destiny. It's fun. It's fun. The first night, I didn't think that the mechanics were that fluid. I found it very confusing. I found it very convoluted. But by the second night, I got more familiar with the gameplay loop. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. I struggled to get off. I kept playing. I kept grinding. I played with three to 2 other friends, and it was a blast. I mean, it's a great game to play co-op. I mean, you can have up to 4 players in your party, and we've just been grinding missions and having a blast, looting and shooting and hooting, you know? Yeah, so some of the pros are definitely the visuals. The game looks beautiful. The guns, they feel great. There isn't a lot of variety with the guns. I mean, it's very similar to Destiny, where you have your common weapons, which is your submachine gun, assault rifle, pistol, and then you have your heavy weapons, which is the heavy ammo, which is your hand cannons, your scout rifles. Then you have your special grade ammo, which is another version of like a heavy ammo kind of, which is like your burst rifle and beam rifles. And then you have your special ammo, which is going to be your shotguns, rocket launchers. It's going to be your high caliber snipers. I mean, I would like some more melee weapons if possible to throw in there. At least for the special ammo class, similar to how Destiny does the swords. You know, and there's different things you can play with, either it be energy rounds or whatever, but for energy weapons, that'd be pretty sick. You can customize your guns completely with different mods that you can collect throughout the game that either give it elemental damage, bonuses, buffs, or whatever. The upgrade system for your weapons are pretty cool. You have to go to this research lab in the main hub, craft these items that either allow you to level up your guns to give them more DPS. You can upgrade a gun from like level 1, for example. If you find a level 1 legendary gun and you like its stats, you can upgrade it to a level, let's say you're 33, you can upgrade it to a level 33 gun if you have a level 33 gun in your inventory. My biggest complaint with the leveling is there's this wait time in the research lab where even if you gather all the resources to craft, let's say, a legendary hand cannon, once you put all the pieces together and you research it in the lab, it'll take like 4 hours for it to actually be obtainable. This is a practice that they use a lot in mobile games, and I'm just not a huge fan of that. You could spend real money and the timer would go to 0, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, it costs like a few dollars. I mean, it's very similar to like how Clash of Clans and those games do it. I'm not a huge fan of that. Some other pros, the stories, the side quests, the characters are great, are so much fun. I mean, yeah, we've been grinding main story missions, and the world varieties between each different lands you get to go to and explore are very unique. Enemies, there's a wide variety of enemies. Boss battles, you know, are difficult, very time consuming, kind of great for raids. And when you really get to your first real big boss encounters that are in this arena, they have a the most that we fought, I mean, we fought up to 3 so far, have very unique move sets, which I appreciate, and it adds to a level of gameplay knowledge that you need going into these fights. Now for the cons. The first night I had major, understand, I have a 4090, you know, Intel i9, you know, CPU. I got a juicer PC, right? And I was unable to play this game because it was giving me this error about having not enough memory to run the game. And I believe this might be an issue that's fixed. I found a solution for it. My solution was underclocking my CPU, which is crazy. I had to underclock it a couple notches in order to actually play the game. But other than that, I mean, we've had a smooth sailing. I mean, there's been some updates since it came out, some, launch patches. So it might even be fixed. I don't know. I didn't bring my CPU up. So I don't know. Other than that, the microtransactions are kind of egregious. I mean, but the thing is, right, it's a looter shooter free-to-play game similar to Destiny 2, and you got Warframe as well, right? My issue right now is that there really isn't a game like this for players new to the genre, right? It's kind of overwhelming for a new player to play a game like Destiny 2 where it's so far down in its lifespan. I mean, but they've been getting updates and expansions for what, like 7 years now? 7, 8 years? Same thing with Warframe. And, you look at what you need to do to catch up to a lot of the players in Destiny 2 and Warframe, and it's expensive, man. I mean, running between like $200 to $300, maybe even $400 to get the full packet of expansions that you can get for those games. So it's nice to have a game that's in the similar vein that allows you to explore the main story as a new player. Outside of the research boosts that allow you to get blueprints quicker from your research hub, the microtransactions aren't like thrown in your face. I remember when I signed on to Destiny 2, it was during the middle of like the Witch Queen. Dude, I was bombarded with pages of microtransactions. Like, go to the store, buy this to continue, buy this. Whereas this game, there's a store option. You can tab over to the store, you can unlock, buy things, whatever. But I'm not playing the game, and it's not throwing the store in my face constantly, which is nice. I mean, you can realistically just ignore it as you're playing the game and not even know that there's a store that you could purchase items in, which I like. I mean, it's pay to win for sure. I mean, it's not PvP, so who really cares if it's pay to win necessarily? I mean, it's a looter shooter, right? And at the end of the day, it's a great game to just hop on with your buddies and have a good time and progress and level and sort of have this internal competition with them. But the story is compelling. The gunplay is great. The builds are fun. Each Descendant has their own unique ability. They have their own unique design. So I know I've hopped all over the place in this video. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the first Descendant. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to playing it again. I had a great time with it. And I know, if any looter shooter fans out there also have a great time with it. Man, I was playing this game and all I can think about, my favorite looter shooter of all time was Borderlands 2. I mean, I played all the Borderlands. I love them all. And my favorite looter shooter of all time, Borderlands 2. Imagine Borderlands 2 as a multiplayer sort of MMO like this game is, like Destiny is. That would be so much fun. You have that central hub where you can interact with other players. You have these chain of missions, either main story missions or side quests that you can go on with your friends and companions to different worlds throughout the Borderlands universe. You collect all these different variations of guns with different ammos, this and that. Dude, a version of Borderlands that was like First Descendant, that's like Destiny 2. Man, that is my dream. I hope that's in the works at some place, because games like a live service version of Borderlands would be so cool. I love the Borderlands universe. I love everything about Borderlands, the boss mechanics, everything, the abilities. So if they made a version of Borderlands like this, man, that'd be the best. That's all I can think about when I was playing it. So, I mean, that's probably why I'm so addicted to it right now, is because it just reminds me a lot of Borderlands and what Borderlands could be in the future. But yeah, that's my thoughts on First Descendant. If you haven't already checked it out, I highly recommend you do so. It's free to play, like I said. Don't get swindled by the skins in the game like some of us have. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun. If you hung around this long, I appreciate you. Drop a like if you haven't already, and catch you guys in the next one. Alrighty, peace.